Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of FFA Speaks. I'm here with Carolina Rhea, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah. So I'm Carolina. It's Ray, actually, but don't even worry. It's spelled weird, so people get it wrong. You're totally fine. You're totally fine. I'm from Woodford County originally. I'm currently serving as the state vice president for Kentucky FFA, and I'm so excited to be here today.
Yes. Ah, so fun. You're the state vice president.
hmm Yeah,
Wait, I kind of forgot that.
that's okay. That's okay. There's 12 of us. It's hard to keep track. And literally everyone is like vice president of a region,
Yeah,
too. So they all overlap.
man, I'm doing a bad job, but it's okay. We
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay, so I guess tell me a bit about your FFA journey, because I guess we might have something similar because we're both from like I you're right next door basically. Like you're
Mhm.
30 minutes away.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that like we're in two different regions, but like you're right down the road, right there. So I started taking ag classes in sixth grade at our middle school, and then did FFA. All of middle school was involved there, but our program wasn't really that active at the middle school level, so it didn't really come up like for me competing and stuff until I got to high school. So I took Principles of Ag my freshman year, did the creed contest, and was like bought in so fast. Which it's like a family history thing too. My dad was a state officer whenever he was in his freshman year of college, and he's from Webster County. FFA is really big over there, so I would grow up going down there for the summers and just hearing all the stories from him and my uncle and my grandpa. And so I just knew that I really wanted to get involved. I ended up running for chapter office at the end of my freshman year, and that's just kind of where it all started. And it kept going, and I got more into contests and developed my SAE, and just kind of really found a place for myself here, which we don't have a farm. We don't have like production agriculture happening right outside my window, which sometimes felt a little bit weird being in Woodford County where there's so many people from horse farms and working in the area. Um, but I just really found a home in FFA and kept going with it.
Um, okay. What is your SAE?
So I work at Eckert's Orchard, which is an orchard in my hometown of Versailles. Honestly, I kind of bounce around wherever they need me, whatever I'm doing. So sometimes it's working at a cashier, sometimes it's like customer service stuff. My favorite job to work is out in the fields. So they'll have like field supervisors for the day. So I basically just unload and reload the wagons with people as they come out to pick apples or peaches or anything. And I give them updates on what the crop is that day, what varieties we're picking, what rows, prices, answer any questions they have. Sometimes people come in like really passionate about organic fruit and do you use pesticides and what is irrigation like? But most people that come out there are just like hoping for the American tourist experience. So you just try and give it to them that way. But that's my SC right now.
Okay. I have definitely been to Orchard a lot.
Yep.
When I was a lot younger, and they took field trips there.
Yes,
And
yes,
the only
yes.
reason, besides that, I'm aware of Eckert's is because of the vet clinic. Because I
Yes.
have, because my teachers, I asked them, "What clinic do you take your dogs to?" They're like, Eckert's, because they all live in Woodford County.
Yeah. My brother is working there this year. He's a senior at Woodford, and so it's like his co-op because he wants to be a vet. And he started a month ago, I think. He came back from GSE and immediately started at the vet clinic and loves it. So they've got a really good operation out there,
Yeah,
but I have never been inside. I have no idea what's going on.
I've only heard good things, so
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
love work. I work in a vet clinic. That's one of my things. So
hmm
I work on the one called Animal Clinic Leestown Road. Yes, that is its
Oh,
name. Its name is its location.
gotcha.
We need to get
They
the
were very
fix.
creative coming up with it.
My boss didn't name him. Apparently, he bought it,
Oh,
and apparently someone before him named it or something. But
gotcha.
yeah, and I also too would like to be a vet, but working somewhere in agriculture is all I care about mostly. But
Honestly, yeah.
yeah. So I know you kind of mentioned this slightly as I was talking about your FFA journey, but like, when did it, I guess, kind of come to you that like, oh yeah, this is something attainable, or
Yeah,
I like this. I'm gonna continue.
that's a really good question. Um, I think honestly, it was probably my very first state convention. So I competed in Creed contest, did not make it out of the region. I was not good. I did not practice enough. But
Don't feel
because I
bad
was
about it.
what was that?
I said don't feel bad about it. I didn't make it out of the school.
You know what? And it happens. And that's people's story. That's how it goes sometimes. But I was a chapter officer, as I was just like a committee chairman at the end of my freshman year. So I still got to go to state convention. And it was just such an incredible experience of like, I wasn't competing. I was just walking around the expo and looking at different things. But we had other people competing. And so we were still sitting in sessions and like cheering for students. And I just remember sitting in those sessions and hearing the state officers talk and being so inspired and absolutely blown away. And I was just like, this is so much fun. And I want to come back and I want to compete and I want to be on the stage and I want to come back and walk around and meet all of these people. And which I tell people all the time that my favorite sessions um, is usually like session 4 and session 5 because I think they're the most emotional. Because obviously you have state officers getting installed, you have state officers retiring. I love it when the team brings out their parents and like stands on stage with their parents and reads off the things. And I was just sitting there and I was like, gosh, I would give anything to be on this stage one day doing literally anything up there ever because I just thought it was so interesting. And so that's kind of what I did the next year is I kind of did every single contest that was available to me because I was like, I just want to make it and do something and get up there and get to go back. Um, and then I had so much support from my advisors and from my teammates in just trying to be ambitious and get ahead of the game. That I was just like, I just have to keep doing this. There's so many people that like support me through this, but also there's so much to like be learned. And I discovered things that I had never known before about agriculture, and it was just incredible. So that first state convention, I think it can be really life changing for a lot of people.
Yeah, and um, I love state convention. I wish I've gotten the opportunity to go more, because this was the first year I actually got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the other years I was busy or I went for a single day,
Yeah.
and I didn't go to a single session, so I just competed, and it's so fun
Yeah.
because I'm lucky enough to not even really have to travel all that much.
Yeah.
Like I made it a bit far for me because of I live kind of far from downtown, but just driving up is just such a fun experience.
Yeah.
Like no other. Same thing with
Yeah.
FFA camp. That's where I would like to say that my whole thing got started last year.
Yeah.
Just
Very
yeah,
hoorah.
very
Yeah.
hoorah.
I like I like state convention even more than national convention. And which I've competed at nationals too. And don't get me wrong, like it's a great experience. But I was talking about this with someone the other day. I was like, I really think the environment that you get in Kentucky FFA is so special that like we are not the biggest state association and like we don't have the most members, but the energy when you are in like the convention hall is just insane. And like seeing people cheer for their like chapter representatives on stage is so special. And I love nationals and I'm sure it's great at other state conventions, but there's just something about it. Like Kentucky feels like home at camp too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It also just helps that I know it doesn't feel small. Like yes, it
Hmm.
is technically small, but it doesn't really feel that small because there's people from so many different parts of the state and with such different like
Yeah.
people from in the Pennyroyal will have a different experience than people in the Bluegrass and so forth and whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's so much to glean from each other and just learn. It's so fun. I love it.
It's so great. It's so great. And you get that at camp too, because
Yes.
there's so many different weeks that it's a mix up. That it's really cool. That's the one thing that I regret a little bit about my first summer at FFA camp because it was after my freshman year. But like literally my goal for the entire week was to talk once in one of my classes. Like I was so shy and scared of literally everything and everyone at my first summer. And that's the one thing I regret. I was like, there were so many cool people there that like I'm meeting now that like I now know. And I wish I could have met them earlier and like gone out of my bubble a little bit and talked to them and not stuck with my chapter. But like seriously, if you just take advantage of the people and the opportunities, especially at the state level, there's so many cool things and like different chapters to learn about and regions to meet.
Yeah. Like there's I love like O&O and just like talking to people about like
Yeah.
what they do in their office in their for their chapters, like what events
Hmm.
they have. And just some of them are just really cool and just fun to implement. Like one I would love to implement, but I know it's not feasible in Lexington is
Hmm.
the Johnson County. I forgot which county. I feel so bad. But
Johnson Central, maybe.
the one that drives their tractors to school. You know what I'm talking about?
I think that's Johnson Central.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm trying to think. Are you talking about this summer at camp? Did you talk about it
Yeah, they were
with
there.
them?
They were also there last
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
Cause
I think it's them.
yeah.
I think.
Regardless, I think it's just a cool idea. Like I
Yeah.
will never be able to do it,
Yeah.
but it's just such a fun idea. Or just getting like chili cook-off ideas.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was my first or second summer at camp, but I met Taylor County's advisor, Mr. Williams. And I don't know if you know anything about Taylor County, but yes, I did not when I was a member, but now as like a state officer, like it's all I hear about. They have like insane facilities for their students and so many opportunities like for them to do production ag in the classroom and like at their stuff. And I'm like, gosh, I wish Woodford County had something like that. That is just so cool. But like you hear about it at things like camp and like get inspiration and advisors get inspiration to start new projects. And it's really interesting.
Yeah, and one that I can think of just off the top of my head that we will be not stealing but taking is I forgot. I'm horrible with names, but one chapter they have this thing where they have this like chicken supper where they have a bunch of chickens that they raise from FFA students in their chapter, and then they um, cook them and then serve them for a little dinner, and it's like a buffet thing, and they have to pay like $5 a ticket or something like that to enter, and it's like a little fundraising event. So
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. We're trying to do it, hopefully, but just cool ideas.
I hope they invite me. I want to go to
Oh
the
yeah,
chicken buffet.
yes. What is something Woodford County does?
Okay. Let me think. Oh, so I was never on like the animal pathway in high school. Sorry, my dog's walking around. I don't know if you can hear her. But I never did the small animal pathway. But the students that were in it, I think it was vet science. It may have just been the small animal classes. But they learned how to like groom dogs. And so students would get to bring their dogs into class and like they would practice on them and groom them. And our advisors brought them in, people from around the school. That was just always it was always a really fun day because suddenly you see all of these kids who have never taken an ag class like running down to the ag hallway and peeking in and trying to wave at all the dogs and pet them. That I just think was special within the school. Um, but then the one other that I would say is at our county fair, like sunshine
Yeah.
classes. We kind of do a version of that with the special education students at Woodford County. So they would start to work with the small animal classes, raising sheep out in the barn that we had at the old high school. And they would kind of learn how to take care of them and handle them alongside like a student that they were partnered with. And then they would show them at the county fair. And that was always really special, was seeing that too and seeing everyone get so excited. Which we just moved to a new high school and they built a new barn. And Bella Rosini, who was one of those students, came out and spoke at the like opening ceremony of it. And she had her speech written out. Her mom was there recording. And I just remember she was like, I love playing with their hair and putting bows in it. And I was just like, this is the sweetest thing ever. Like changing kids' lives and you don't even think about it. But it's just really special.
Those are actually very cool. I It's so fun to hear about other places. Like, especially when they're like so close.
Yeah.
I I wish we were allowed to bring our dogs to school because our teachers are allowed to bring their dogs, but Fayette County is a bit strict when it comes to
Yeah.
fun having, especially in Locust Trace. But we get
Yeah.
around it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It's a little bit of a weird scenario for you all, right? Because it's not like co-op, but it's like partial
Mm-hmm.
scheduling for you to be there.
Yeah. So so you can go in the morning or afternoon. I'm a morning student because of band, theater, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And most of our officer team are afternoon, but um, the morning and the afternoon, you go every single day. There's not like a half day. It's a every day or a no day. You go for your first 2 periods, um, and then you go back to your home school, and then you finish
Gotcha.
out, or you start your home school and then finish out at Locust Trace.
Gotcha. So it's probably hard to make some of those projects happen too when you don't have kids in
Yeah,
the classroom all day.
yeah. So it's a
Gotcha.
lot of after school meetings with
Yep.
after school meetings and telephone pole communication.
Tough. Oh gosh. We always had our officer meetings at like 7:30 in the morning and then school starts at 8:30. So early days. That's how I liked it, but I think I'm just the most productive at the butt crack of dawn is probably it for me. But
Yeah. I and we do um we have like separate meetings and stuff for like how do I put it? Like stuff after school. So we have like scheduled out meetings. So like on this
mhm.
day we'll have all the executive teams come and discuss what we want to do for that week or whatever. And then they also have this thing called an officer class in the afternoon, I think. I don't know if they still have it, but it's basically just for the executive team to just plan an AET.
Yep.
The morning does not
Paperwork.
have that, and I'm glad. Uh, just I love AET. I'm one of the few people who like it. I don't like it that much though.
I like doing chapter paperwork on AET. Like I was always down to help our secretary out because I like writing up descriptions and things. But for my personal AET, like filling out my state degree was the bane of my existence. I hated it with everything in me.
I'm the exact opposite. I love doing my stuff. Don't ask me to do anyone else's. Like for the past bit, we've been having these before school started Wednesday, we've been having these like meetings where we start putting stuff in AT so we don't have to do it later. And I
Hmm.
realized, holy moly, I do not like filling out POAs. Like, I respect people, especially people like Riley Hutchinson. She
Hmm.
is really good at filling out POAs, and I'm probably gonna have to learn. So I'm not against learning. I love to learn. My but I will complain about it. I won't quit, but I will complain about it as I do it.
Gotcha. Sometimes that's the coping mechanism that you need. That's
Yep.
all that it takes. That was me with my state degree. That's me with my personal stuff. Now, I prefer to like write about the nonsense. Like, we had this many chapter members and everyone had a great time. That kind of thing is my vibe.
Yeah, I'm the bullet points for my SAE stuff of just this, and this happened. And I did this for this many hours on this day through this day. Done.
Maybe I need to take your method. That might make me a little bit less miserable doing paperwork.
Well, I like doing that way because if I need to go back and like put more in, well, I can just take what I have and just put it into full form sentences. You just
Hmm.
take out the bullet point, make a sentence around it, and you just do that.
Yeah, very convenient.
Very convenient. Yes, it's also very good as like I've been trying to desperately fight my procrastination over the
Yeah.
past few years, and a thing I've started to do is to do almost exactly that. Just if there's something I really don't want to do, um, I will simplify it and put it in and then return to it on like in like a bit like in a few hours or a few days, depending on how important or not important it is, and
Hmm.
just extrapolate on what I put in there.
It's the like think smarter, not
Not
harder
harder, yeah.
kind of mindset.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
So you kind of do you guys have like pathways? Because you kind of said the pre-vet pathway, and it's like,
Yeah, okay. So I'll explain it because it's probably a little confusing. So there's five like agriculture CTE pathways in Kentucky that you can like go down. So there's things like horticulture, there's like animal science pathways, and then like agribusiness, mechanical, like engineering stuff. So the way that Woodford schedules our classes is that we just have those like written into our curriculum. So like it's kind of annoying because our like guidance counselors and administration decided I think it was this last scheduling year that students when they like freshmen when they're coming in have to pick a pathway in one of in like agriculture or health science or like family consumer sciences, and they have to stay on that pathway all of high school. So like for me exactly, like it kind of pigeonholes you into something, and that wasn't the case when I started. So I took principles of ag, which is a prerequisite. You have to take that class to go down any of the ag pathways. But I took it because I had no idea where I wanted to go on those pathways. And so it was like an introduction to everything. And so then my sophomore year, I took floral design because I was like, this sounds really fun and interesting. I'm going to take that. And then I took ag sales and marketing because I was like, this sounds fun. I enjoy talking to people and I would love to make some money. Let's talk about that. And then senior year, I took equine science because I was like, I live in the horse capital. Let's do it. Let's see what we can do. There's some cool things. Um, so I was never really on one pathway, but for people like my brother who like is really interested in animals and that's his main thing, he like started on small animal and then took like it was then in vet science and equine science and is trying to stay on that. So you take an end of program assessment once you've taken 3 classes on a pathway. And so that's kind of how Woodford, that's why they do it that way, is because they want as many students as possible to take EOPs and get the school like credit and some more like aid money. I think that's how it all works. So I'm not a financial literacy person, but that's the way a lot of students do it is they pick a pathway and stay on it. That was not my journey, but that's how a lot of kids do.
don't do something far different.
Okay.
So we have those almost exact same pathways with a few added in. So we have agribusiness, which is just equine science.
Hmm.
Because a lot of horse stuff has to do with business, so that's how they kind of tie it
Oh,
in. So they have taking care of horses, and then they also have. But how do I sell one as another thing? And
yeah.
then that's like near the end of when you take it. And there's pre-vet, ag mechanics, environmental science, plant sciences, food science, and that's about it to my knowledge.
Okay. Gotcha.
And when you go into locust race, you have to choose one when you apply, but you don't have to stay in that one. You can change if you would like. Um, and you can also take multiple pathways. So
Hmm.
I am in a very jumbled schedule in the fact that I have ag mechanics, pre-vet, and environmental science.
Gotcha.
So I want to learn as much as I can,
Hmm.
just because that's the person I am. Like if I could, I would start high school all over again to learn more.
Take all the
Take
classes.
all the classes I possibly could. And yeah, we also have the EOP. But for us, our vet levels and our equine, then all of our pathways have kind of like levels to them.
Hmm.
So there's like level 1 vet, level 2, level 3, level 1 equine, level 2, level 3. And those are the only ones that are like you have to go in order. The rest of them, you can kind of take them in whatever order. You'll be
Hmm.
pushed to take them in a specific order just for your sanity, but you have to. And something I do enjoy is the fact that you can change and you can take multiple, and you can take multiple EOPs. So
Gotcha.
I have taken an EOP for pre-vet. I passed. And this year I'm hoping to take environmental science and ag mechanics.
Gotcha. I took the plant science one, which it was kind of funny how they managed to work it out because they counted principles as the start of my plant science pathway, and then I took floral design, and then they counted ag sales and marketing as the end of my like plant science pathway. So I took that assessment despite only taking 1 year of an actual plant science class, but I liked it.
I
It's
mean,
still fun.
it can be argued that I mean, ag business is such a generic thing; it can go into any
Yeah.
piece of ag, which is, I guess, the point of it. But yeah, I would like to take a floral, or we have a floral design, we have plant science. I am intimidated though.
Really.
Yes, because the teacher who teaches that is Mr. Bustle.
Scary, scary, scary.
No, he's
That's just jokes. Just
yeah,
jokes.
yeah.
If any Locust Tricks people are watching this, I'm totally joking. I'm just quoting Haley Tucker. Like, this is all a prank.
I love Mr. Bustle. He's I would I'll never have him in class.
Mm.
I would love to, but I already get my daily dose of bustle in the fact that he knows my name and I'm on the executive team, and he knows that, and he knows that he can get away with messing with me.
Yep.
And because Parley.
We we were oh my gosh, I didn't know you did Parley. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me get back on track for a second. Then we're gonna talk about Parley. Hold on, because I love Parley. The group of four of us that was at your week of camp, so me, Haley, Mallory, Garrett, terrified that he was gonna prank us because you guys were there. I was absolutely terrified. He had that like lockbox or
Yeah.
something that he
Oh
carried
yeah.
around,
He was my
and
bunkmate.
I was convinced he was gonna like burn down our dorm. I was like, I'm never getting my jacket back. He's gonna steal all my stuff. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. And I was so scared. And that ended up being a better prank than anything else.
Which I
Yep.
think was the point. Um,
Yep.
that was
He got us good.
yeah. He was my bunkmate, by the way. So I slept on top of him. And he is he's an interesting individual. He got up at 4:15 in the morning every day to go take a shower and then come back and go back to sleep every day.
Okay. How particular.
And apparently the advisors like started warning their own kids not to talk to the man with the lockbox. He's I love Mr. Bustle because he's so funny,
Hmm.
and he's such a good teacher, on top of the fact that he's just fun to be around. Because he's a
Hmm.
good teacher, he's an amazing mentor, as much as we never admit it, or maybe admit it a lot, but he's he's one of a kind.
Yeah.
I I wouldn't. I love Parley. He made me like Parley. I didn't really get a
Mm.
choice, but I'm glad I'm doing it with no one but him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty special. Our we had the same Parley coach for like a few years, and then she went to a different school this year to teach science. So our advisor, Mr. Richardson, took over. No Parley background at all. He had no idea what he was doing, but he like hopped on all these Zoom calls and was watching all these videos and looking up all these resources and like really got into it. So Parley is one that like it hooks you in. It gets you
Mm-hmm.
ready to go.
Gets you good. By the way, so during this summer, we had a welcome to the Wolfpack event. So where we
Hmm.
welcome new students, we introduce them, and apparently this has been going on the entire summer. But in Mr. Bustle's car, in his truck, in his so he has a two-seater truck, and there's the driver's seat, and to the left is like a booster seat for his kid, and on top of the booster seat is Robert's Rules. He has Robert's Rules in his car at all times.
In a booster seat. That's his child. He loves that book.
I He's a enigma because I don't know where he got any of this Parley knowledge from. It's
Mm.
like he just descended one day and just learned Parley.
It
Like
just came to him
it
in
just
the
came to
night.
him. Yeah, because he's okay. Not to toot our own horn, but I think he's probably one of the best Parley teachers
Yeah.
because
Y'all are
it's
good.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, he's I I love Parley because of him, and then I'm also so at Douglas on our FBLA team. I'm trying to convince them to do a parliamentary procedure team
Mm.
that maybe will come through,
Right.
but I don't know how much I can convince people at Douglas to because our FBLA person he doesn't know Parley.
Mm-hmm.
The only other person in FBLA that would know Parley is Chris. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Christopher Anderson.
Do I know that name? I think so. Was he?
Yeah, he was at camp.
Yeah, Camp Council,
Yeah,
and he was okay. Yes, yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Okay. I was trying to think of his handle on Instagram because I saw it the other day, and he was at like Eiffel and stuff. Okay.
yeah. Uh, he goes to Carter G, which is inside of
Yes.
Douglas. So I see him every single day.
Gotcha.
So, and he does FBLA through Douglas. So he's the only person there that would know what I'm saying when I say fix the time of which to adjourn. Someone this meeting adjourns. It adjourns to meet at 5:15 on March 31st in Mr. Bustle's room. Like,
Yep.
and I may not do it. I may just do agribusiness because that's one of the things. But
Mm-hmm.
if we do a parlay, I don't know how I'm gonna teach people parlay.
It's tough. It's you kind of have to have a few people in the room that know what they're doing and just like lead by example. It's
Yeah,
tough.
because like so Mr. Craig, one of our other advisors, who might be scarier than Mr. Bustle in every way, but in different reasons.
Yeah.
Um, he is teaching or has been teaching principles of ag since
Mm-hmm.
our original person who taught it, she moved to the new middle school to teach it there. Um, but he one day there because they go over parley in it for us, and he brought out Robert's rules to scare them.
It's pretty intimidating. It can freak you out a little bit.
Luckily, ours is like it's so he put like little bookmarks in it to notate like what each thing is.
Mm.
So if you look at our, I'll send you a picture later, but it's just this tiny book with just rows of just little things to flip to.
Yeah. That's why y'all are so good at it because you've got the whole book. Woodford, we need it simplified a little bit. We get like the just the abilities used and like printed out and like spreadsheets with everything. But it's a hard contest. I have the most respect every single year. Whatever teams even just make it to finals, I'm like, y'all are good.
Yes, it is so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I I love it though because of that because it's you know a quote that I like to quote and I don't necessarily remember who it's from, but it's basically and this is not necessarily a parley thing, it's just more of a competition thing, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll never this is like basically what it is, the gist of it, but you'll never know how good you are at something until you feel pressure because then you can't think about what you're doing, you just have to go off of muscle memory.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That's pretty special. Do
And
you work well under pressure?
yeah,
Is that your kind of thing?
that's
I
my
think
thing.
you seem that way. I get that.
Yeah, like I didn't set up not to call myself out, I didn't set up any of this until like 10 minutes before I sent you the link. Uh I fly by the seat of my pants and it usually works out. I won't be doing that in college though. I know better than that.
Lock it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down and just lock in mostly, hopefully.
I can understand working well under pressure, but it's mainly just because I'm such a huge procrastinator that like I have to and do it that way. It's not how I would prefer to do things because I get like really stressed out about it. But like I was doing extemporaneous last year and I oh my gosh, I was so mad at myself like 2 or 3 weeks before state and before nationals because I had not done enough prep work. And so I was like locking myself in my room, forcing myself to study like a week before the contest. And then you walk in the room, you have to write this speech on demand. And it's like, I don't remember any of my stats. I don't know what any of this is supposed to be. I'm just going to have to wing it and go with it.
Not to take back what I said. I think extemporaneous is the hardest contest in FFA. Like
I would agree.
it is. I I can't do that. Like, and I'm not that kind of person. I
Uh huh.
know the people who are, and I have so much respect for those people, like Cyrus and you and
Yeah.
Addison Hillard. Not me.
Yeah.
That ain't me.
Listen, I barely survived. It was bad. It's not my thing. I'm doing prepared this year and I'm so much happier, much more at peace. But like we got in the so before you do like a national contest, you have like a Zoom call like month or a month and a half out. And literally the very first thing that the lady that was organizing it, I wish I could remember her name. But she said on there, she was like, "This is the Iron Man LDE. You're gonna be tested in ways you've never been tested before." And I was just like, I barely survived state. Like I was a train wreck. I can't do this. There are some people that like live for it. And it's so I enjoyed my year of it. I would never do it again. I could not handle that pressure again. It was too much.
Like how I live for Parley. Some people
Yep.
live for extemporaneous. Some people live for dairy. She knows who she is.
At Haley Tucker.
Haley
I'm
Tucker. Yeah,
calling you out right
yeah.
now. Come watch this episode. We're talking about you. I hope her ears are burning right now.
She has like the ringing ear, like the tinnitus.
Yes, yes, yes. I was texting her, maybe it was yesterday, and we were talking about cows. So I'm sure she is.
I I love I okay. After this, I'm gonna actually ask a question and stop rambling. No offense, but I love people like her who have that one. It's kind of what we've been talking about. Who have that one thing, and they love that one thing.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
is their life. They live and breathe whatever that is. For
yeah.
Haley, it's dairy, even though she's lactose intolerant.
Listen, it comes up every time we go out to dinner as a team because we always want to get ice cream after. And she's like, "Yes, support the dairy industry. I won't be having any, but you guys go." It's hilarious.
Our
But
one of our advisors, when we had like the free pizza and stuff, she
mhm,
knew Haley would probably stop by, so she brought Lactaid.
that's hilarious. No, I agree with you. I think it's really inspiring for someone to care that much about one thing. And not to glaze Haley Tucker. I love her so much though. I'm gonna talk about her. We were at camp and it was Addie from North Laurel was this like student that I guess she had met before. And Addie wrote her this like really sweet note. And she let me read it like in the cabin that night. And it was talking about how she was like, there's not very many dairy people left in Kentucky. It's really inspiring for me to see someone on a state level that cares that much about something I care about so much. And I was like, you don't think about it sometimes, but for members, especially just seeing someone that represents something that matters to them, like if they can see themselves in someone they view as like a leader, like that's so inspiring. And I was like, that's really cool for Haley to be able to do that for dairy kids in Kentucky. It's cool for Cyrus. Like, I don't know if you've talked to Cyrus a lot,
Oh
but like
yes,
like
beef
big
cattle.
production ag guy, like farming is his background. And there are so many members across the state that probably haven't felt that from a state officer before or haven't seen that in them. That like Cyrus this year is going to change someone's life because they see a good old boy production ag kid on the state officer team being a leader. And like that's special. And
Yeah,
I just think it's really cool.
and like, and even on like a chapter, even on a chapter level, like,
Hmm.
um, nothing I guess inspires members more than seeing people who are passionate about the same things that they are. Like,
Yep.
um, just like seeing people on our executive team, they're like, "Oh, you also like veterinary science? Oh, that's really cool." And then you talk to them about it,
Yeah.
or plant science, Elena, like Elena. I will not be saying her last name because I'll somehow butcher it again. Um, but she loves greenhouse.
Yeah.
That's her thing. Same thing with Abby Knox in her plants and vegetables, like in floral ID and plant ID. I don't know how those people do it. I don't know how they look at this random flower, like it is this and this, and it's from this place,
Mhm.
and it bloomed here, here. Same thing with land judging, like, but they're so passionate about it, and that's inspiring because that can apply to anything else that you do, even outside
Yeah.
of FFA, like being really into music, like I am, or whatever,
Mhm.
or theater in your case, like
Yeah.
loving something so much that you just are so passionate and loud to support it is just great. And I think that's, I don't think many people, I guess, understand what entails becoming a state officer until they, I guess, they get there. And I
Yeah.
think one of the, I guess, biggest parts that may not even be on the list of like responsibilities or that you look at when you're state officer summit, but it is to inspire members, like
Mhm.
Haley Tucker, just being so passionate about dairy, inspired Addie from North Laurel,
Yeah.
or just Cyrus loving production ag, and it's gonna inspire someone else.
Yeah.
Like supporting people through whatever means. Like Anna Coliff kind of inspired me because
Mhm.
she kind of, I guess, helped me realize that there's a lot more to leadership than just being the first one to speak or being the front of the room,
Mhm.
because that's not how she was, and she didn't pretend like that's what she was. Like she knew what her style of leadership was, and it worked because she is a good leader, even if it wasn't, front in the room.
Yeah. I would say last year's state officer team as a whole as well, I think we're really good about that. About it was very easy to find a piece of yourself in every single one of them and like be influenced in some way. And so that was really cool to go back to camp this summer and see so many of them working as staff and just like seeing the way that they led. So like for Tyron, absolutely love Tyron. He's such an inspiration to me. And I got to take over his workshop at camp and like teach 2 blocks of it and sections of it. But I picked his because I had sat in on it like the day before and I had watched him lead this group. And for me personally, I think I probably fall in the same, like the opposite of Anna. Like I was the same way that I was like, leaders are people that take charge of the crowd. Leaders are people that direct the conversation. Leaders are people that are up at the front of the room. Just because that's the way that it's always been in my life. And I watched Tyron lead his workshops and like it was clear as a facilitator. I knew where he was going to go next. I knew where he was leading the students to. But he had such a great way of like calling on kids and making them feel like they were the ones stepping up and leading the group. And I was just so impressed by the way that like I don't know, he just asked such great questions and called on the right kids and like to make it all work together. And I walked away from that workshop like, I have to do it with Tyron. Like, I can't do that, and I want to learn how to do that because it was so inspirational. And I think all of last year's team was like that. I also really love Anna Coliff. A lot of respect for her. Um, which her dad and my dad were state officers together, and so this summer at camp,
Oh,
she took me to see the scrapbook of their year and all these things, and she's like a humble confidence kind of leader. Like she knows what she's doing, but she never makes it about herself. Like it's always about influencing other people and like giving them things to connect with. And so lots of respect for that team and all the people
yeah.
in that group.
And fun fact, um, I am the reason why he switched from crackers to chips.
Really? What
Yes.
did you do?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. So, so in the star groups, the best group because we won. Um,
Blue group on top, blue jacket, Blue Jays.
um, so it was me and Ben Colliff.
Yep, I know Ben Golf. I had an in-depth conversation with him about grass for like 20 minutes at camp. There's another person that's really passionate and probably is inspiring someone else with his passion.
Oh yes, and it was me and him, and he got the group that wasn't encouraging. I was the one that did get the encouraging,
Hmm.
and he did his thing. Then I walked in, and I don't. I thought there was something to actually win, So I played like I was gonna win.
Uh-huh.
I horked those crackers down like a pig to a trough. They were everywhere across that room. There was a
Oh gosh.
pile of crackers under my chair from me just
Just like that.
just feasting. And I hate crackers. I hate crackers.
Right, right, right.
But I was gonna win.
Hmm.
I wanted to find out it was a thing about leadership
And encouragement.
and encouragement.
Well, so I did that activity at a workshop I did. Like we did our freshman leadership conference for our region. So when I was a regional officer, I did that in the room. Um, and I had to like stop in the middle. We had 4 rotations, I think, and I had to stop in the middle of the third one because the kid that was getting encouraged got so into it. We used pretzels, not crackers, but he was getting so into it that he started like coughing and like choking on the pretzels.
That's
And I had to like
that.
stop the
Yeah,
workshop and be like, no, no, everyone calm down. Like, let's
that
be safe about this.
and I. It's that's such a good idea for like showing encouragement though. Like
Hmm.
I don't know who came up with that, but whoever did.
Kudos to you.
Yeah. Okay, actual question time and not just rambling.
Yeah, sorry, we went off on a tangent for a little while there.
I love tangents. Tangents are great. They make for great conversation. But
There you go.
when did it kind of like occur to you that like I'm a state officer now? Like when is it
Oh
like
gosh.
one if it even has come to you yet? Because I've gotten some answers of them being like, I don't know, I'll come back to you. But um, when was the I guess first time that it like came in a wave of like, oh, I'm a state officer. Oh, people know me.
Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah.
people know my name.
I think I feel like it probably still hasn't really set in like personally, like emotions wise. I just like it's just never it probably never will. Like it's or at least it'll probably set in the session 5 of next convention. I think probably right like 2 seconds before I retire it'll set in. Um but I do think I felt some of the responsibility sense and like a little bit of that oh crap, I have to lead this team pressure. I did my very first chapter visit the other day at Henry County, and it was with their officer team. So I was helping them write workshops and make some content for the year and curriculum. And I don't know if you know their president, Sawyer Hawkins. Love Sawyer, he's a great guy. But he was kind of talking with his whole group and I was just kind of hanging out in the background like listening trying to see like when I was going to need to start my section and teaching them and things, and he like looked in the back of the room and he went, well, that's all I have, Carolina, and then went and sat down, and I just like froze for a second because I was like, what do you mean, like it's fully just my turn to take over and just do this. And so that I would say is the one time where it's been like, okay, let's let's like buckle in, get ready. I've got to lead this team in a little bit of a way, or at least help them. Um, but I think emotionally, it still hasn't set in. Like watching videos from convention, we this is a really sweet story. I don't know. We were at base camp, which is it happened about 2 weeks after we got installed. It was our first like team training, first time being back together, and we every night when we go like do team trainings, we go out and get dinner, usually like go out for ice cream or do something fun after, and then come back to the hotel. And Mr. Kolf is like, just rest up for tomorrow. You can hang out for a while, just be ready for tomorrow morning. And so it was one of the I don't remember if it was the last night or like the end of the week, but we all they all came to like the hotel room that I was in with a few of my other teammates, and we all watched our installation like on the TV on YouTube, like watched it again a week, like 2 weeks after, and the emotions were so high. And like you look around that room and everyone was like tearing up, getting emotional all over again because it's still like it still hasn't set in. And it's just like a lot of us have been dreaming about this for years or thought it was something that would never happen. And so like just seeing it again and again that like this is real, this is our reality right now for the next year, it just feels surreal.
Yeah, and I don't think this kind of sounds weird, but um, I think state officers get more and more human as you get older, because
Hmm.
you guys seem so young to me. Like
Yeah.
the previous state officers felt so old. Like no offense to them,
They've got
but
wrinkles, gray
yeah, gray
hairs.
hair. But like, so it may have been like a height thing. You know, Matthew is
Yeah.
6. I don't know how tall he's. 6'8". He's up there, but
Taller than me.
oh, he's way taller than me. But seeing people like that, and it's like, does it? You were the same age as them when I talked to you, and that's like
Yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah.
I digress. And something I guess when I ask a question, they not to put everyone into the same boxes, but I always get similar answers. It's which I think is special because all independently came up with the same answer with their own different story attached. But it's
Mm-hmm.
FFA camp or first chapter visit.
Yep.
Those two little events, and that's very special. And then Amelia Tucker, who I'm sure you know,
I love
she
Amelia.
I do too. She said to me when I interviewed her that it's never gonna fully hit the effect of FFA or your position of state officer or whatever until you retire, like you fully retire, you hang up that blue jacket,
Mm-hmm.
and that's interesting. And I don't, because I think when it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, I understand what this is gonna have. Like we always talk about the amazing opportunities that you can do in FFA by doing this, this, and this, the
Yeah.
scholarships, the grants, and I don't think people realize how much besides that there is, like the personal development. Like
Mm.
I yes, I almost said local stress. Yes, FFA is about agriculture advocacy and leadership development, but it's also personal development
Yeah.
and just emotional and personal growth through just means of learning, like learning how to be a leader. Like, yeah, that's kind of a hard thing to learn, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never really think about it, but you know, I guess because we have such amazing advisors and workshops and people who run those, but we get taught and I guess shown something that it takes others years and years to develop. And how crazy that is
Yeah.
that what FFA has like I guess given to us in that way kind of it's kind of mind-boggling just to
Mm-hmm.
me that we and like I don't fully understand the effect this organization has had on me or the people that are in it. I can say it's good things. I can't say
Yeah.
exactly like it's done this, and this, but I think it will come to me. Maybe not fully. I don't think it'll ever really hit a person.
Mm-hmm.
At least not until they're wrinkly and old, like past state
Yeah.
officers. Like, I'm sure Mr. Koff still has no idea the amount of effect that it's had on him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, and it's just that's crazy. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. I think it's because it's so personal. Like for me personally, I can look at, sixth grade Carolina in her first ag class, and I can look at myself now and be like, these are the things that changed. But I can't always identify like intrinsically what is different now. Like why I didn't have the same drive to be a leader then that I do now. What was the change for that? I don't know what the cause was. I know it probably had something to do with FFA, but I'm not like totally certain. But I will say, even just looking like end of state convention to now, like already seeing changes in myself, or at least the way that I think about things, has been really special. I'm trying to think of a good example. So FFA camp. I was there obviously with Garrett and Mallory and Haley, and all three of those people are very, very personable. They're very like fun to be around. People get along with them. Like I love all three of them dearly. And I would also say all three of them have a really great way of connecting with people and making those connections quickly and like making them turn deep really fast. I'm not always the best at that. Like, I really struggled with that, honestly, at camp. They kept telling us, they were like, every meal we want you to try and sit with someone new, make a new connection. And so I would sit down for these like 20, 30-minute conversations and walk away feeling a little bit like, wow, I do not think that I did that well enough. Like, I was not able to connect with people in the same way. And every night we would do state officer reflections with Aiden and JC. And we would all have to talk about our high-low buffaloes for the day, what we enjoyed, what we didn't like. And my teammates would share stories about these campers that they were meeting. And I was like, oh, that's so cool that they invited you to do that. I wish someone would invite me to do that. Like, I wish I was making these kinds of connections. And it wasn't until the very last night of camp. I had gone to Woodford County's chapter hour for like a couple minutes just to see them on the last night. And I was walking out of old admin and I like looked over to the side and Hancock County was there and they had pizza boxes everywhere, way too much food. They were finished with their chapter hour. But they saw me come through the door and they were like, come sit with us, come hang out. So I just sat there for a little bit and I was already kind of stressing in my head. I was like, I can't be here for too long. I have to go and talk to more people. Like, it's my job to meet as many members as I can this week. I have to go keep talking to people. And I was sitting there and I realized, like, literally in that moment, pepperoni pizza in my hand, like moving the slice to my mouth, listening to things around me. I was like, I'm so busy thinking about what I'm not doing right as a state officer that I'm actively missing out on a moment where I could be connecting with people. Like, I'm thinking about all of the areas that I have to get better at, and I'm not actually doing what I promised to do. There's an entire group of like 6 people here that invited me to come sit down with them and just want to talk and have a conversation. And so I was like, in that moment, I was like, yes, Garrett and Mallory and Haley are running around and making new connections, and they're great at that. And those members are going to be great. But I know that's not my skill set. I can't do it the way that they're doing it. I need to be present here and take a little bit longer. It might take me 45 minutes instead of a 10-minute conversation, but I can do that. Like, I can give them that time and actually have a conversation. So I like sat there with Hancock County for a long, long time. And they asked me questions about state office. I asked them questions about their chapter, but we also like just shared stories about people we knew and our advisors and funny little things. And that night is my favorite thing to think about of FFA camp because it was the one time that I really, really like stopped comparing to myself to what I thought this standard of leadership would be. And I just let myself do the Carolina brand of it. Like, this is how I'm going to lead. These are people that aren't from my region. I'm probably not going to see them again until state convention. But this is how I want to lead. This is what I'm good at. And so I was just like, in that moment, I'm going to sit here and have this conversation. And it's crazy to think about that, like, the end of state convention, I wouldn't have been able to realize that about myself. Like, 2 months later, completely different, like, priority, completely different perspective on something that feels really big to me, at least. Um, and I'm sure every single one of my teammates has gone through something like that over the last few weeks of just like realizing something about themselves and making a change, or at least attempting to.
Yeah, and I kind of struggle with that, to be honest, about the whole
Yeah.
wanting so hard to do, I guess, what I perceive as the right way to be a leader or whatever. I see people and I'm like, I wish I could do that. And I get so in my
Mhm.
head about trying to emulate that I don't think about, well, that's the way they're doing it because the way, that's their skill set. That's what they do. And I don't
Yeah.
think, okay, but what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
it's just not. And sometimes, especially for human connection, I have found that if you go in to trying to make a human connection, wanting to make a human connection, you're not going to make a human connection. You're
Yeah.
going to spend the entire time thinking about, okay, did I spend enough time? Is
Yep.
this enough? Does this count? Like,
Mhm.
but if you go in just wanting to hear a story or hear about someone's life or just going in not as like, I guess, a leader or going in as a human, not an officer, not whatever, and just asking them
Yep.
stuff, it's like it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does.
And for some people, like myself, that's really hard. And there is no shame in something being hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I agree.
and just like you said, like you spend so much time in your head thinking about, all right, am I doing it? That you don't realize,
Mhm.
yeah, you are doing it.
It's hard to like really analyze it in the moment, but
Yeah.
and it's not a lesson that I think you ever fully learn. Like it'll never be perfect. Like those like feeling those little bits of like insecurity or just uncertainty about leadership, like everyone struggles with that. It happens all the time. If I think about like, okay, my last summer at camp, all this talk about camp, it's just life changing. Shout out Josh Mitchum. You're doing great things. But my last summer at camp, so I was chapter president and I was on camp council. And our officer team, so my junior year, we had a 10-person team. And then my senior year, it went to 15. And all of a sudden, I was president. And I was a wreck at camp because I just felt like we were not getting along as a team. Like it just was something was not clicking and we just weren't meshing the way that I felt like we should. Because my junior year, our team was super tight. It was a smaller group, but we were all really close. And so again, I got in my head senior year of camp and I was so like, Carson was our president the year before. And I was like, why can I not do this the way that Carson was? Why am I not leading this team in a way that is making us as close as we were last year? And I was struggling with it all week. And then I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night. I stayed after with my advisors and our chapter chaplain, and I just talked to them about it. I was like, I don't understand. Like, what is not clicking? Why is this not working? And they were like, you're a different leader than he was. That's part of it. You have to learn how to do it a different way. You can't try and copy all these things that the person before you did because they were a different person. It worked for a different way in them. Like lead the way that you know how to, or the best guess that you have
Yeah.
of how to do it. And hopefully it'll work out. And if it doesn't, if there's kinks along the way, then that's part of being a team is working those out. And so that like hit me in that moment that I was like, you're right. This isn't all in my control. I have to take a step back and like trust that it's going to work itself out, or trust that I'm going to develop or my team is going to develop enough that this dynamic gets established.
And being insecure, I feel like people are always. I think insecurity in like healthy small doses, obviously not like sitting in your room prodding, thinking about, oh my goodness, what am I
Yes,
doing
yes,
wrong?
yes.
But feeling like not okay, not feeling adequate or feeling like you're up to what you want to be is such
Hmm.
a good motivator for some people. And if you harness it correctly, who knows how far you could go? I can't tell you. That's for you to decide. But
Yeah.
just taking, just taking, and I guess I can relate this to acting, which you would understand. But the best actors, when they do a scene, they do it with a part of themselves of where they're not actually acting. Like
Yeah.
when they do a scene to the best of their ability, it's because they incorporate a bit of themselves into what they are doing.
Hmm.
So if you can find something to incorporate, something that motivates you, like an insecurity, like, oh, I don't feel like I'm doing this well enough, or I don't feel like I'm talking to people enough, and I feel that people are judging me, and I'm insecure about my leadership abilities. Okay, find out how to make that better in your own way, and then see how that makes you feel.
Yeah.
Instead of just, I guess sitting and just thinking about it for 20 minutes and like, well, nothing I can do. Because there's something you
Yeah.
can do. I feel like most insecurities and problems, there's something you can do.
Yeah. My old theater director, Clifton Grimm, he used to tell us like before every show when we were at Woodford Theater, he would be like, this is a new audience, new things are going to happen. No show is the same. Like, yes, we're putting on the same performances every night, but it's not going to be a carbon copy of the night before. So he was like, the best thing you can do is go out there and be honest on the stage, because you're going to find something to connect in the audience with. You're going to find something new to connect with in the script. And that's the way that it's going to feel the most genuine. And I think that that's true for just about anything that you do in life. Like we've talked a lot on our team about how much we want to prioritize this year about like being authentic and not feeling like we have to fit into whatever molds we've like seen before. And I think it's so true because like this is an honest conversation. I'm talking about things and I feel like we're connecting about these, and hopefully people that listen will feel that too. But like if you're putting up a front or faking your way through a lot of things, it's just not the same connection with people. Like they're not going to feel that that sympathy or that like kindred spirit nature of things. Like you have to be genuine and you have to be willing to put yourself out there a little bit and be honest about the things that are a little bit embarrassing or tough to go through.
Right. And I like like being, I guess, to relate into this, but like my authentic true self is just being obsessed with three things: FFA, band slash music, and theater. I will
Yep.
not shut up about any of those, but I don't really care because that's just who I am. Like
Hmm.
I love I love FFA. I know, like when I talk about some of the stuff to people in theater that I'm friends with, it's like they don't get it. Like, let's
Hmm.
be honest, most people don't get it. My parents don't get it. Um, my dad still is still confused as to what I do. Um, I love him, but he just doesn't understand. My mom is she kind of gets it, but and that's okay. Like, your authentic self is your authentic self. For, excuse me, Jesus. It's been a long day, but doing your authentic self is your authentic self, regardless.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and your authentic self is doing in the silent disco, going hard on the dance floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe, just maybe. That's my happy place. I'm not gonna lie. That
You look like you were having fun. I'm.
I was
I
having
won't
a great
judge.
time. That was my favorite night of camp. Honestly, that silent disco peak. That was my peak. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think everyone has a few things. Again, back to that, like everyone's passionate about something topic, and that creates connections. Like it really does. For me, my family's like the opposite way. They get the FFA side, they don't understand the theater. None of them have like the acting background. Which my mom was a band kid, so she's like halfway there. Um, but none of them get the theater. But still, it's like it's something I care about that gives me a community at school. Gave me a community at school now that I'm graduated from high school. But
Oh,
so sad. But it's you can make connections anywhere you go as long as you are passionate and show that passion for things. Yeah.
right, and I love that. I love. I'm repeating what I was saying earlier, but I can't understate it enough that nothing speaks to people more than you're just being passionate about something. Like,
Hmm.
even if they don't necessarily, at least for me, I don't really care if someone is passionate about something I really care about. I care that they're passionate because that shows me that they care. Like,
Hmm.
being able to care about something so much and be vocal about it is such a good trait.
Yeah.
And just, I guess, a soft leadership skill that I don't think gets talked about enough.
Hmm.
And, there are so many like different skills that you can be like, oh, this, and this. I think some of the best ones are the ones you don't really get taught because you can't get taught them. Like
Yeah.
you can't get taught how to be authentic. I wish you could. It would make life so much simpler. Being you just kind of or being confident, like they kind of go hand in hand. But you can't get taught how to be confident. You can be given skills on how to be
Hmm.
confident. You can't like just it's not like in math where they show it on the board and you like, oh, okay, and you copy it down. You have to, I guess, work through it through your own way. I guess that's all leadership skills. So the
Yeah.
point of this argument is moot, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. My favorite quote of all time. It was my senior quote. It was on the wall at our base camp. It's "What is done in love is done well" by Vincent Van Gogh. And I think that that's just a great way to live your life. Like do the things that you love, do them with love, and do them with people that you love. Like I just and it sounds simple and probably a little bit silly to say, but I think if you are going after things that you truly care about, like you can do no wrong. Like and I thought a lot about it like senior year where I'm an ag ed major, so I want to be an ag teacher. It took me forever to act. There you go. It took me forever to actually get on that path and decide on that because teaching isn't always the most stable profession. It doesn't make the most money, but it's what I love. And so I was like, That's just what I have to pick. And I just have to trust that going down that path is going to lead me where I need to be. I have to trust that it's going to give me the people that I need. I have to trust that I'm going to still love doing it, or that it's going to put me somewhere else that I love. That you have to have faith in those things.
Right, and can you repeat that out? I was just a tiny bit. That burp took me out. I'm
It's okay. I said the word love like 17
17
times.
times.
It was
Okay.
a little bit confusing. It was basically just like you have to have faith that like doing things
Oh,
that you
yes, yes,
care
yes, yes, yes,
about
yes.
is
Yeah,
gonna put you where you need to be.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, I don't know what to say. That like that. That's just true.
There we go.
Like if, I don't know. It's just so many words, and
I
like
know.
so many words. But it's like, yeah, like if you do it, it's the anti-burnout method, uh, to say the
Hmm.
least. Like
Yeah.
my friend, my poor friend. She she's gonna get burnout as soon as she gets into a job because um not to throw any shade on her, but I'm throwing a bit because luckily she'll see this and she'll feel called out. Luckily, um, but she wants to go into HVAC, like and learn like a blue collar trade.
Mhm.
Which, hey, if that's what she's passionate about, I'm not one to judge. That's cool. And I asked her why HVAC, and she said, "Oh, because they make a lot of money."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is that it? Do you have like no real passion about it?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "It's gonna be a rough first year if you don't find something you
Yeah.
like about HVAC."
Yeah.
Because I cannot say like I don't know what I'm gonna do in college. I don't know what I'm gonna major in. Um, and I'm fine with that because well, you can change your major at any time.
Hmm.
Maybe a bit hard, but you can do it at any time. And on top of that, as long as I'm happy where I am, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I want to do something in ag. What that is, I can't tell you.
Hmm.
Maybe it's going into veterinary medicine. Maybe it's going to ag education. Maybe it's going into like livestock management. I have no idea. I can't tell you. I can tell you
Hmm.
is that whatever I pick, I'll be a joyous guy about it. I will be frolicking in those fields.
Right. 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 Of soybeans and
Oh, so
corn.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. Like one of my teachers, Mr. Craig, he and Mr. Buss, all the teachers, all most ag teachers really. The reason I there is nothing harder than being there's very few things harder than being an ag teacher in my opinion because you have to teach so much, you have to do a lot, you have to help these kids do leadership stuff, which can be
Hmm.
very hard, but they do it because they love it.
Yeah.
They, I don't, and especially at Locust Trace, because a lot of the teachers that we have kind of accidentally became teachers. Very few went in expecting to be ag teachers. Like Miss Higgins and Miss Maxim, our pre-vet teachers, they are both licensed vet techs who worked in the actual vet stuff, and they did that for like 15 years, and they were like, "I'm gonna be a teacher," because that's where they found their passion, and they became a teacher, and they love it.
Hmm.
Or Mr. Craig, he worked in automotive repair and tractors and stuff like that, and he was like, "I'm gonna be a teacher one day," and he became a teacher. Like it's because they love it,
Yeah.
and if we can apply that to whatever you want to do, like maybe not even you can do it even right now. Like if there was a contest that you think you might really like, go do it. Like
Yeah.
I promise you, you will have fun. If it's something you enjoy, it will not feel like it's an actual competition. Like yes, it'll
Yeah.
be kind of stressful, but like if you have fun and you enjoy it and you're passionate, there's nothing to fear. Like I love Parley. I love Parley a lot. So I don't dread parley practice until, and I have heard horror stories from previous parley members of staying until 9 to 10 p.m. with Mr. Bustle ranting and
Yep.
raving about parley, and I'm sure Haley may have told you about those long, long nights apparently, even which it's their fault they chose to have it at 8:30 p.m. But
And I've been saying that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I I love it.
I agree. I think there's nothing wrong with trying out something that you haven't before. Like my favorite contest that I've ever done in FFA was the agricultural sales CDE. And that me joining that contest, I was not in the ag sales class at that point. Like I had never taken ag sales. Had no clue what I was doing, but I went and I told my advisor and I was like, "Listen, if there aren't enough kids from your class to fill up a CDE team, please come find me because I think I would like it a lot." And so there weren't enough kids, and he called me in the middle of a different class, and I started running up and down the aisles because I was so excited to try out this new thing that I hadn't done before. And it's now my favorite contest that I've ever done because I think it taught me so many skills. And I think that there's definitely a story like that that's out there for literally every FFA member,
Yeah,
that just taking the chance on something is possible. And your ag teachers care enough to make that happen.
yeah,
Like Miss Saunders is a new advisor at Woodford County. She's literally only been there a semester. Like she came in for our second semester of school. And all of these freshmen from our chapter left our freshman leadership conference, and on the bus ride home, keep in mind, this is like a month before regional contest day. We're on the bus ride home, and they're like, "Miss Saunders, we want to make a conduct team." A month ahead of the competition, they haven't even fully finished covering Parley in their class, and they're like, "We're doing it. We're so amped up from this leadership thing. We're doing it." And she went with it and trained a team in a month. And like they didn't make it out of regions, but a lot of them loved it. A lot of them have said they're going to try to do Parley next year. And like your ag teachers will find a way to make it happen. Just take a chance on something that you haven't tried yet.
yeah.
So,
And a lot of ag teachers, what I've seen is that they will make sure that you do something they think that you should. Like
yep.
Mr. Craig came up to me my freshman year and said, "You're gonna do the speech contest," and I did a speech contest. Or actually, this was a officer, but Abby Knox, one of our, she just graduated, but
Mhm.
she this was our like first year leadership conference, and she was like, we were doing like this debate thing about like is pizza best cold or whatever, and I was debating, and she was like, "You'd be good at parley." I was like, "What's that?" "I don't know. Just come to the thing." And I then got voluntold to do parley.
Yeah.
Best decision of my life is
Yep.
in just in the doing in the Envirothon. I learned so many things. I had and it's given me very fun stories to tell, like how I spent like an hour looking at this big piece of paper of mussels, like the sea creature, and
Uh-huh.
identifying them. Like I have, it was, it was an interest. I had fun, but it was something. And then
Yeah.
going out into this random, like, crappy trail. No offense, but just staring at trees for like 30 minutes. It's like, yeah, it's a magnolia. And then just taking up like your little roller, going, yeah, that's about a three. Like, just fun stuff and just stupid and getting hang out with friends. Like we didn't qualify for state, not by a long shot, but we had fun.
Yeah.
Or this state fair, I'm doing wildlife CDE,
Ooh.
which I've never taken a wildlife class. I just learned all the things I need to know 2 days ago. But we
And now you're going to
ball.
state fair.
But we ball. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
Senior year. So I was in my like equine science class. I don't know horses at all. I was actually terrified of them at the beginning of this year. Um, that like the first semester was all about horse muscles and structure and bones and all these things. And so I ended up doing the horse judging contest at Murray State. I I have no idea what I even put on that paper, how I even scored those horses. But like you show up and you do it and it's fun and you get to try it out. And we went to Murray and we got to like go to Patty's, which is this like fancy restaurant down there, and go out to dinner and do all these fun things. And it was just because like no one else was going to do it. I'll do it. Like it's fun to put yourself out there and try the new thing, even if you have no clue. And I think that's something that a lot of people should be like a guiding force for them, especially in high school. Like you have so much time to try out new things and to explore. And you will like it'll happen in college too, but like when all of these opportunities are available to you, like all just laid out in front of you, like absolutely you should try as many of them as possible and just see. It'll be a positive experience.
Right. And one of my favorite memories of anything FFA related is so after the Ag Mechanics Regional CDE, we went to it's in NIKU. So we went to
Mhm.
Fiesta in Richmond, and we just ate. And Mr. Craig goes, "If you guys get first place, I'll pay for the lunch." I have never had a more stressful lunch in my entire life, where I am eating and I'm like, I don't think I can pay for this. I'm really hoping that we're winning, and we did win, so I didn't have to pay a dime. And then he looked at my order and he does this like weird look at you whenever he's like not disappointed but like this goofy kind of look, and he goes while looking at my order, and it's like, yeah, I got
Okay.
2 buckets of chicken tenders. What do you want from me?
Yep. Yep.
And just stupid, like the memories of that I'll never forget. Like,
It can be pretty special.
yeah, and quote that he said is, um, he has never met someone who wished they did less in FFA.
I love that. That's
Because I
true.
haven't either. I've only heard
I
people who
haven't.
wanted to do more.
Yeah. Yeah. I only know people that regret not joining earlier or not trying this, and this. Yeah.
I'm gonna
I agree
be
with that. That's sweet.
even with all I do, I'm still gonna be like, yeah, I should have done that as well. Like
Yep.
I'm gonna be like 20 contests in and like, yeah, still got to do more. Because it's
Yep.
just fulfilling. Like even if you don't win, just feeling confident in what you're doing and just feel like, yeah, I put my best foot forward is so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm basically out of like the contest circuit and stuff, but like I still wish I had done ag marketing and employability skills. And I wish I had done like one or two more CDEs instead of just LDEs. Like there's not a regret, but there's always like there's so many things available that there's truly not enough time in the day. But I think it's possible to try as many things. And you said earlier like about the memories, and I agree with that. Like one of my favorite memories, I can't even remember what we had to do for him to do this. Maybe it was get gold at nationals. Maybe that's what it was. But like after the awards session, Mr. Richardson let us shave off his beard. Like and give him whatever cut we wanted, and he had to keep it for a week. So he got like a handlebar stash and it went up into the side a little bit. And like it's just tiny little things like that that just stick with you and are just so special that you just think about for years to come. And it comes from trying all those things.
Like, and I guess building on top of that, like, I'll have some just the most amazing memories and just fun experiences just from FFA alone. Like,
Yeah.
it'll, I'll look fondly back on it. Like, when I'll think of like high school, I'll think of FFA
Hmm.
just because of the amount of stuff I did. Like in the stupid things, like watching my friend get her name absolutely butchered at the Spencer County Invitational,
Yeah.
just pronounced horribly, horribly wrong. And now we all call her what, and we all now purposely mispronounce her name because it makes her a tiny bit mad, and that's a bit funny.
I can understand her. Our chapter treasurer this year, Logan, kept threatening at our like senior bank, which he was a senior too. So I've known Logan since like elementary school, and he kept threatening. He was like, "Unless you pay me $20 right now, I'm gonna announce your name as Carolina Rhea to everyone." And I was like, "You know how to say my name. If it was somebody else that hasn't known me as long, I wouldn't even mind it that much. But you know how to say my name. You better say it right." And it's just like little funny
So is it
things.
Ray?
Yeah, it's
Ray?
spelled so weird. I know, but yeah, Ray.
I was like Rhea,
Rhea.
Rhea.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people too will get the first name wrong sometimes. Like they won't say Carolina. They'll do it. They'll like roll the R or like do it like as if it's like a Hispanic name, and they'll like say it with an accent. And I'm like, nope, just like North Carolina. That's
Just
me. Good old fashioned Woodford County.
say it right.
There you go.
Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
Carolina Ray.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh yeah. Hey, at least you have a memorable last name.
Exactly.
I love memorable last names because it's like I've never met a Ray before. Now I have,
Hmm.
and especially in this like tight knit group of FFA people, it's like the Collis, like
Yes, you never forget it.
you never
I
forget.
don't know. I don't know if you know anything about Williamsburg Independent, but one of the other socks that ran with us, his name was Zayden Housekeeper. And I will never forget his name. Like, it's going to stick with me forever because it's just so distinct. And, like, he's at UK with us this year. And every time I see him, I'm probably going to say his full name because, like, it just sticks.
That's one of my friends. His full name is Benjamin Hunt Bradley, and I think that's the funniest name to
It
me.
sounds very English.
Yeah, he's not English. Um, like his family are very Russian, so I don't know where that came from. But I will never not say his full name in front of him. Same thing with
Yeah,
Faustin. I'll just go, hey Faustin Luca, or just Luca.
you got to get the first and the last.
Oh yeah. I mean that's I mean I introduced myself first and last name because
Yeah.
I think I have a great last name. It's very memorable, but also ties me back to my sister whenever people see us and see my name and see her name, or like
There's a connection there.
there's a connection there.
It's very distinct. That's the way like Garrett Zimmerman, you would be surprised how many Zimmermans there are
Oh,
in FFA that are not related. And
oh,
it's so confusing.
I know a few. I know a few Zimmermans.
Yeah, it's very funny. We went to State Officer Summit, and one of like the national like employees, like she's working on the board up there, is Cheryl Zimmerman. And Garrett went around telling people all week, they are not related, but he went around all week telling people that she was his Aunt Cheryl because they have the same last name, to the point that she came and got a picture with him acting like they were related. Like it's funny. There's little things.
Just little things that you'll never forget.
Yep.
I love the like National FFA staff. Like they're the unsung heroes. Them and the advisors
Yes.
are like unsung heroes because they
They
do
do
so
so much
much,
work.
and I don't think about them, which means they're doing their job as well as they can. Like
Hmm.
no one, it's like the crew in like theater. You don't really think about them till there's something
Yeah.
that's really bad. Then you kind of have to think about them.
Yeah.
Like, and I haven't thought about them once, and I appreciate them for all they do. And I
Yeah.
feel bad I don't think about them, but
It was really, really cool being in Washington and getting to like they were up a little bit more towards the front, like you know a little bit of what they're doing. And that was interesting. I didn't realize how much like work really goes in behind the scenes, even for just a conference with just all of the state officers. Like there was so much national staff, there were so many facilitators, so many people running tech. And I was just like, wow, there's a lot that happens in here.
and especially like I didn't really get that behind the scenes until state convention when I had to go behind to go up on stage and be
Yeah.
on there to represent. And it's like a well-oiled machine back there
Yes.
with you sock people just running around making sure everything's right. The state officers are like have their like little schedule, and like
Yeah.
then the Amelia Tucker with her like little headset on, like with her little planner, just looking down.
It's it's insane. And we have people that literally are dedicated to like help Amelia, help Miss Wright, help Mr. Coliff. That's your only job is do whatever they need. So it's insane. There's a lot happening back behind there.
Yeah.
And if you ever get the chance to go backstage at nationals too, it's even crazier there because it's everything on like a times 10 scale. So there's just so much going on and you never understand it all.
Yes. And I guess the final question, and we
Yes.
could talk a bit after, but
Okay.
oh, what do I want this one to be? I'm gonna think about this one. No, you're good.
I'm
Uh,
sorry. I'm like, I can hear my dogs freaking out in the back. I'm hoping it's not getting picked up.
I can't hear anything, which means they won't be able to hear anything, so you're good. But
Perfect.
what does the jacket mean to you?
Ooh. Oh gosh.
When you get your jacket for the first time, and when you look back when that jacket is hanging on your office, when you're a teacher,
Hmm.
when you're your own advisor, and when
Yeah.
kids go up and ask you who are new to FFA and don't know anything about the jacket, and they ask you, "What is that?" And I mean, they're probably like they're probably young, so they may not even ask
Yeah.
this question, but if they go up and ask you, "What does that mean?"
Hmm.
What would you say to them?
I think the biggest thing about the jacket that has always stood out to me is just the legacy that it represents. Like that's truly the first word that comes to mind of, like it's created in 1933 and we have it now in 2026 and for years to come. And it's gone through changes. There's things that have changed that have been adapted. But at the end of the day, it still represents this, organization that started in 1928. Like it truly, it's a century of history, and all of these things. And for me personally, seeing my family's legacy within FFA has always meant a lot. And just knowing that I'm not the first Ray child that's worn a jacket. Like I grew up seeing my dad's old Webster County one and seeing his old state office one. And so this serving as a state officer for me is continuing that legacy. But it's also about creating my own and leaving my own impact on people. And every single person that puts on the blue jacket has that exact same journey of creating their own impact, leaving their own mark. And it all just continues to build up until you get this legacy of the national FFA organization that's made of so many people, broke 1 million members and so many stories and opportunities and memories. There you go. You got to celebrate it a little bit. That is just so special. Getting to wear that on your back and knowing that I'm representing my home chapter, I'm representing my family, my region, my state, and just this organization as a whole. Like it's a feeling like no other. And that's why like people always talk about you get chills when everyone does the to practice brotherhood line in unison. Because I think in that moment you really feel the total legacy and the impact and what this means just to people across the world.
Right, and I
Lots of rambling from
yeah.
me.
Oh, I've been rambling this entire time. If I were to get mad at you, that would be quite hypocritical of me. But and I completely get that. And of course, everyone's thing is going to be different. Like
Yeah.
mine is creating my own legacy because there's never been someone in my family who's been in FFA before me.
Hmm.
Like my grandfather was technically in it, but he wasn't really involved to my knowledge. I don't even know
Hmm.
if he even had a jacket. Like
Yeah.
he was just kind of in it, and it was way back in the day, like 1940s, 50s,
Hmm.
where it was very much so still future farmers of America,
Yeah.
and and like I'm the first person in my family to have that. I'm the first person in my family to have earned it,
Hmm.
and adding those little pins every single time I get one that I can replace it with just
Yeah.
feels so good. Like
Yeah.
I I wish I could record my face when I did it, but when I put my state leadership award from camp on my
Yeah.
jacket, I had this big cheesy smile on my face. I was like, because that's the only one I was missing. Because I have my highest office, my degree, but I've never gotten a pin for an award,
Hmm.
and that was my first one, and I was very excited about that.
Yeah. It's really special. And that's why I think you see like I love our blue corduroy more than just about any other like CTSO organization. Like the FCCLA red blazers are beautiful. I love the 4-H jackets, but I love the blue corduroy more than just about anything else because if you go up to a member and you're talking about your jackets, like 9 times out of 10, they want to give you like the jacket tour and show you all the little mementos in their pockets. And they have pins like pinned on the inside of their jacket and old like little things. And it's just like every single person's journey is so, so different, but we all enjoy it the same way. And we all put on the same jacket and get to celebrate that this organization is what gave us that.
Yeah, and during National Convention my freshman year, this guy, when we're going into the Lucas Oil, he goes off and
Mhm.
then he shows to the people who are running the metal detectors the inside of his jacket, and it's metal, 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 metal,
Yep.
metal, 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 and I'm like, he's from Oregon, and I guess they pass out them a lot more than we do, I guess, but
Yeah.
and it's like each one of those pins has a story, and he knows that, and he's earned all of it, and isn't that cool?
Yeah. It's so cool. It's really
Like
special.
having all these things that like you've I don't know, there's each pin tells its own story. Like um if I were like to go from my so in my 8th grade year I was our middle school FFA president. So I have
Hmm.
that little discovery officer pin,
Hmm.
then my chapter degree, and then the state leadership. And I could ramble for forever about what each of those things mean to me.
Yeah.
And isn't
Yeah.
that kind of
That's
cool?
it's insane. The like during the SOC process and running for state office, there were a couple of the candidates who like wore their parents' jackets or wore jackets that they had people from their chapter sign. And so, like, for me, like, I have a chapter jacket and I have a regional jacket, and now I have a state one, but I didn't at the time. And so, during the whole process, like, I wore my regional officer jacket just because it had all my pins transferred on it. It's what I've been wearing all year. And then the morning that we got installed, I was just like, I really want to wear my chapter jacket. Like, that's where it started. I want the Woodford on my back. I want that to be the thing that if I get elected, if I get to run on the stage, I want that to be what I'm wearing. And it's so cool. There's something so personal every single jacket.
Yeah, and not to drag this on, but when Thaddeus Burr was elected into national
Yes.
office,
Oh my gosh,
he
his
had
story.
he had his chapter jacket on, and that is so freaking cool
Yeah.
to see. Not it's not Kentucky. Well, that would be for us. It was not
I
Illinois or Indiana. I forgot where he's from. I feel so bad, but
think it's Illinois. I think that's
Illinois.
it.
But it had his chapter, and there was just this roar of from people from his chapter when they
Yeah.
were, and then we also did that too for Caroline Growth.
Caroline. I did that for Caroline. I was freaking out in my little seat. I was so excited. I met her during her like national officer process too. So like she came to Woodford and did like a prep thing with my advisor and his wife. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is Caroline. She's a national officer candidate and she's answering my interview questions right now. What's going on? Like you sometimes and I didn't realize how much I did this as a member, but especially like the younger you are, I think, like you idolize the state and the national officers and they're like superheroes in your brain. And then at the end of the day, it's like these are just people that just happen to be incredible. And that
Part of this podcast.
human
I mean,
connections.
exactly, because I had the exact same thing too. I'm like, man, these guys are so scary. Well, not scary, but like it's intimidating.
Yeah.
Like even though I had that connection with Caroline, being like, I went to school with you. I have the same teachers that you had.
Hmm.
I see pictures in your name all across our hallways. I know you, but it still feels kind of scary.
Yeah.
So just imagine what it's like for someone who doesn't have any connection to any of the officers. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, they're just humans. And so
Most of them started in the exact same. I started in
yep,
the same seat as just about every other member that I've met. Like
yep.
y'all start on the same level.
Everyone starts on the same level and we all end in different places. And I think that's kind of cool. Like,
I agree.
and I don't think you need to be a state officer or a national officer or even a chapter or a regional. You don't even have to have office of any kind. You don't have to have any pins. as long as you are satisfied with what you have done, then I think you've gotten the most out of FFA that you can.
And I would bet you have some pretty cool stories to share. Like
Yeah.
no matter what that
No
looks
matter
like.
what,
Everyone,
yeah.
yeah.
FFA people
There's
are
always something to
lunatics.
talk about.
We put the coal in agriculture, okay?
There you go. I know that's right.
It's so weird because it's like, how do I describe this to people who have no idea about anything about agriculture? That yeah, there's this organization with 1 million kids that show up in the same uniform and we say the same things together at the same time in this big assembly hall,
And we all chant
and
in
we
a
all
dark
chant,
room with lasers blaring everywhere.
and we all do this weird dance where we sit on the ground and we pat our legs, and then we lay on the ground, and then we come back up.
Listen, I'll never hate on some dancing. Me and a silent disco, me and fishing in the
Hell
dark.
yeah.
It's going down.
I remember the play that funky music, white boy. Just you just tearing that up.
Yeah, I just love it. Listen, and you gotta see like you see Joe during the electric slide. You see Aiden anytime a country song comes on. Like everyone's got their own version. You gotta embrace it.
And then me and Tyron just balling out to Hamilton.
Listen,
The one Hamilton song I know. But
and it came on.
and it came on and we were just
Yeah. It's pretty great. There's something for everyone at the silent disco. I'm their number one fan.
Go to FFA camp.
Go to FFA camp. Go,
Thank you,
go, go,
Martin
go.
Thank you, Martin Gatton. Please sponsor
Thank you.
me.
What is
Give me
it?
money.
Carol Martin Gatton, Kentucky FFA Leadership Training Center. Shout out Josh Mitchum and camp staff.
I'm not saying all that.
It's okay. I did it for you.
Thanks. But yeah, thank you so much. And that is the end of this
course.
episode.